We've won every time that I've been on the team.
It's true.
Neville gonna give you up as our team name.
It's true.
We've only won twice at bars that are both now closed forever.
Yes.
So I just have gift certificates for money at bars that don't exist anymore, but they're like my little trophies because I'm like, I did this. It's the small things, guys.
Yeah. That's about all we're authorities on.
Anyway, Adam and his mom are gonna go talk to his counselor about surgery.
But she's like she's not quite as closed off to it as she was previously.
Yeah, she's apprehensive about it, but she's like willing to explore what this would mean, which is growth for her. And then we're with Holly J, and she's calling her birth mom and setting up a meeting, and it's of course going to be at the Dot,
obviously.
And then we are with Imogen, and she finds out that she got the part of Clara. And then she walks up to Eli and is like, I know I'm your leading lady both on stage and in your heart. And he's like, oh, no, we're not together. I am not in the right place, emotionally speaking.
This is the proudest I've ever been of Eli.
No, and I'm like, yeah, that is 100% correct. And I was like, womp womp, Eli sucks, but he's telling the truth. And please go back on your meds, please.
Seriously. But also, like, he seems like he's doing okay at this particular moment.
Exact moment.
Where he's like, hey, I'm probably not good to be in a relationship. My emotions really need to be kept in balance.
Yeah. And he's experienced what it's like to be with Imogen. And I think he was maybe terrified, as he should have been.
Fair.
And then we're with Katie and Adam. They is this when they go to a book signing together? Or whatever?
Yeah, and Katie wants to be a journalist, and Adam also wants to be a journalist. And he plans on being a radio journalism major in college. Is that a thing?
I mean, it's probably like a branch of broadcast. It's hyper specific.
I've heard of broadcast journalism. Does it fall under the umbrella of broadcast journalism?
Yeah, that's what I just said.
No, I know, but like, why is it can you major in it though?
You would probably major in like broadcast or in journalism with an emphasis on like broadcast radio, like, and even further emphasizing on radio. If you go to a journalism school, you could probably do that. Or if you go to a journalism school, you could at least major in like broadcast and work for like the radio station at the school, or at least at my school, you probably could have done that. Like I had a friend who was a journalism major, but he like volunteered and worked at one of the radio stations, and he had a recurring segment every Friday called Crazy Carl's Hour or something like that, and it was great. And he had on like one of the ladies who worked at our dining hall who was like infamous. Her name was Sandy, and she was sweet and like gave everybody hugs and stuff. It wasn't creepy. She was amazing. She was like 80. But anyway,
I had a radio show in college.
Your own?
Yeah, by myself for
really?
2 months. Yeah. And then I got bored and I stopped.
But I don't know if you could specifically major in radio journalism, but
yes, that was my question.
It's probably like broadcast with like an emphasis in radio. If you go to the right school, you could probably get as close to that.
It just feels weird and specific.
It's weird, specific, and also kind of a dying industry. I mean, I'm one to talk, but radio even more so. Like,
although, I guess podcast journalism.
Right, podcasts, yeah.
It's the same premise.
It's
just the internet.
But although, also, maybe I just think it's more dying because I don't drive a car anymore. But I don't know if people who drive cars, I feel like they listen to like their own music and podcasts now instead of like the radio. I don't know.
Have not driven a car in a year and a half.
Yeah, and when I'm in a car, I don't listen to the radio. Although maybe like satellite radio, like Sirius. I don't know. Anyway,
haven't been in a car in a while. Unclear.
Really getting
outside of
an
Uber.
I only go. I know exactly, and that's like Uber drivers playing their own weird music.
It's always weird.
Although sometimes it's good. I was in an Uber like a couple weeks ago, and he played 1-2 Step by Sierra, and I was into it.
God.
He was playing like everything from that time period that would have played at like a middle school dance, and it was great.
God. That happens to me once in a while. One time I got like all the Blink-182 and shit.
Nice. That's always a good time.
It was solid. It was like all like, like 90s alternative.
Nice.
I was like, cool, you've clocked me.
One time I got like this Uber driver had a full-on, like, mixed CD with just various Justin Bieber from, like, different points. Like,
Just
different...
only Justin Bieber.
Like, Too Late to Say I'm Sorry and, like, Baby. Like, all sides of Justin Bieber. I was like, what is happening?
Did he just, like, download the Justin Bieber discography?
I don't know. I don't know.
That's what I used to do when I used to, like, download all of my music illegally. Before I had Spotify, I'd get an entire discography.
Yeah, you'd find, like, one artist and you're like, I need to own everything that you've ever done. Anyway, Uber tangent. I don't even remember where we are.
We were talking about the radio.
Adam and Katie both want to be journalists. And is this when Adam was like, I like you?
Yes. And then Katie was like, oh, I don't. And he was like, I'm going to get surgery. And Katie was like, okay. And that's when I realized, oh, Katie doesn't want to do this. Katie does not seem interested or stoked or even more than nonplussed.
Yeah. But then we're at the dot and we're with Fiona and she's like, I bet your mom is like, I bet she gave you up so she'd go on and have like a great career and la la la. And I'm like, okay, you're really talking up this lady you don't know. But her mom turns out to like be kind of cool anyway.
Yeah.
But
I like that Holly J immediately assumes it's like the business lady and not like the redhead with 2 kids.
Right.
I'm like, she has your hair, dude.
I know. And that's what happens then. Then we're with Imogen, and she's like lying about something to Claire.
She's lying to Claire.
She's like, I got the part and the man. Here's a coupon for little mistakes. And Claire's like, great, I'll go with Jake. And I'm like, why is she doing this?
I know we mention it every time, but every time we say little mistakes, I hear little mistakes.
Well, that's the point. That's why.
I don't know if that's why they named it that though.
Why else would they name it Little Mistakes? It's because it sounds like Little Mistakes.
I feel like that's too on the nose.
It's Degrassi.
All right, fair. Fair.
The club above the dot is called Above the Dot.
That's fair. I'm not sure if Little Mistakes is too clever or too on the nose for Degrassi, but it's too one of those.
I think it's like just right. It's like the baby bear. It's like, this is perfectly Degrassi.
Just right.
But then we are back with Holly J and her mom, and she did give her up so she could like stay in college and go to school. And then she became like big in finance, but now she's a single mom and has to support her kids and works like a flex job. I don't know. We learn a lot about Dawn.
We do learn a lot about Dawn. I'm glad that Fiona's with her, by the way.
Yes. And then Holly J backs out of asking for the kidneys because she's kind of freaked out and also doesn't feel it seems like she doesn't want to burden Dawn with this or.
Yeah, she keeps looking at the kids.
Because she likes her and she's like, oh, I didn't expect to like want to actually get to know you. Yeah, and she's like looking at the kids and she's like, you're a single mom. Like, I don't know if you could, like, this is all stuff we were assuming is going through her head because she just doesn't ask her about the kidneys. And she's like, I gotta go now. Bye.
Yep. And then we're with Adam and his mom and the counselor. And Adam's like, so did I pass the test? Do I get the thing? And the counselor's like, that's not really how this works. Like, there's like a whole process and we have to do a lot more counseling, et cetera, et cetera.
Right. And then they talk about potentially going on hormones being the next step.
And then Adam is like, no, I need like an immediate solution. He admits it's for a girl. Yeah. And his mom is like, seriously, like, of course, you're such a teenager, basically. And then the
counselor's like, oh no.
Yeah. And the counselor's
you're not ready for this.
No. And then the counselor's like, I have a suggestion. And like gives him a pamphlet and we will learn about it later.
Right. Yeah, because he's like I need to look like how I feel, and yeah,
which is valid.
Mm-hmm. And then we're with Holly J, and she's like, I didn't expect to want to get to know her. La la la. I'm freaking out. That's why I didn't ask about the kidneys. And then we're with Imogen, who is stalking Claire and Jake on their date, And
she is such a fucking schemer.
She has invited Eli out while she's doing so.
Well, I figured, like, as soon as she said anything, as soon as she lied to Claire and then gave her, like, a coupon for 2 and was like, bring your boyfriend. I was like, oh, she's going to invite Eli to this. And, like, whatever. So
she invites Eli out on the pretense of, like, talking about the script. And he goes for some reason. And
yeah, I feel like Eli's smarter than that.
And then she's like, let's go over here. And then, like, they walk by.
Wait, a really great thing happens, which I really enjoy. She goes, wow, you look fantastic. And he's like, cool.
And then she drags him. She's like, let's go this way. And then she, like, is holding onto his arm and is like, oh, hey, didn't know that we'd run into you here today, to Claire and Jake. And Claire's like, oh, I know what the fuck's going on. And Eli freaks out. And
Imogen keeps calling him Muffin.
And he's like, stop calling me that. And then he runs away.
Which is like, have you ever seen a less Muffin-like person than Eli?
And then Claire's like, the real Claire Edwards would never have done anything like that. And then Imogen is like, the real Claire Edwards would have done anything to get what she wants. And I'm like, I mean,
not
maybe.
Really. I mean...
She's a bit, when Claire's determined, she fucking, like, goes after what she wants. Remember how bold Claire is.
That is true. That is a fair fucking point.
Yeah, when she's spiraling and is like, needs to do something, she fucking does it.
That's a good point. Maybe Imogen does get Claire.
I think she kind of does. In a weird, twisted way, but yeah. But... then we're with Katie, and she's trying to, like, let Adam down easy. And she's like, I don't like you like that. And Adam's like, no, that's not what I meant. And then, like, walks away. And
pretty
it's
much.
sad and meh.
Yeah. She's like, I think you misinterpreted. And
right.
It makes me sad.
Yeah. It's a bummer.
It's just a real bummer.
And then we're with Fiona and Holly J, and we find out that Fiona's not a match. And Holly J is like, well, I wouldn't have let her do it anyway.
And then we find she's on the transplant list now.
Because she has end-stage kidney failure.
Yep.
And she might have to defer from Yale. And it's depressing. But then, are we at the next?
We're back with Adam, and Adam has a compression vest.
Yay.
And then Dave is like, hey, cool, flat, etc.
Yeah.
And then Adam's like, you helped me so much. And I'm like, did he? Did he help at all?
I don't know.
But Dave does say one thing that made me laugh. And he's like, yeah, don't really want to do that again. It was confusing.
I forgot about that.
Sexually confusing for me. Because I am also 15.
And then we're at the dot. And also, this is the first time I realized that the scooter shop is across the street from the dot.
I wrote Motorettas across the street from the dot.
And Holly J, does she call Dawn?
No, she meets up with Dawn. She meets up with Dawn
and tells her about the kidneys. And she's like, all right, let me get tested. Like, we'll see.
But she's, like, considering it. She's not, like, on board. She's not like, yes, I'll help you.
She's like, maybe.
She's considering it, and she will get tested.
Yeah.
But she's like, she's not super into it.
And then we're at play practice, and Eli apologizes to Imogen, surprisingly. And then, also, guess what? Jake is helping build sets now.
Yep, because Eli is not over Claire, apparently.
Yeah, because he's like Jake walks by and Imogen's like, oh my gosh, like, so you really are over her. And he's like, no, I'm not over her. Like, doing this whole thing made me realize I'm not over her at all. And you know what they say? Like, keep your friends close, but your enemies closer. And
yeah,
I'm like, oh my God.
He straight up references and then quotes Sun Tzu.
Yeah.
I'm like, cool, Art of War reference. Like, live your life, I guess.
And then we are with Adam again, who's joined an FTM website. And I'm like, yay, community.
I'm glad. Thank God for the internet. Am I right?
Yes. Very happy Adam has found his people. And then the episode ends with Dawn calling Holly J. And it's like, oh, yay, she's a match. Oh, but wait, she wants $20,000 for her kidney. And then the episode ends.
Which is rough.
Ugh,
all right, on one hand, if she was getting this surgery in America, it would cost more than that. On the other hand, what the fuck, Dawn?
Yeah. Not great.
If my friend needed a kidney and I matched with them, I would you get 2.
She's your daughter. I mean, I know you gave her up for a daughter.